welcome. I'm really excited about this because in this box is an EMG device, and I'm going to be using this device, which is really incredible, to test another device that is also very incredible, the Betterfly. And I'll talk a little bit more about the Betterfly and what it does for those of you who watch this. But this is something that I've developed that will hopefully change the way people exercise regarding their major muscle groups and the ability to isolate them. So, talk about that in a second. I'm going to do an unboxing video. So, I'm super excited. And here it is, Mr. EMG. So thrilled. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what electromyography is, it is the ability to test the neural connection to the muscle and how hard the muscle is contracting. So we will be able to do traditional exercises. We'll use chest flies as an example, which is the inspiration for the Betterfly. And I'll be able to attach this to my chest and measure my contraction strength with a traditional chest fly using cables, and then put on the Betterfly and test the contraction strength, or the neurological connection, and how hard it's contracting, how hard it's working, and basically compare the two exercises to see which one creates a better contraction in the muscle. So I'm super excited about this. You would have to go to a laboratory and have all the electrodes, attached to your muscle and then hooked up to a machine and then do all the exercises, and they test the charts and everything. So, but now, thanks to Rowan and Mr. EMG, you're able to buy one if you're a nerd and want to do scientific testing. Check this out. This is really cool. So in the box we have the case, charging case here, which has the 4 sensors in it, Bluetooth of course, which will connect to my iPad and measure the contraction strength of the muscles. And of course, you can't have a good device without a good charging cable. And the stickers, which will attach all the electrodes to my muscle in different places. And I love that there are 4. You can also buy a 2 electrode version. Yeah, these are the stickers that attach them to your muscle. So then we have the quick start guide, and I already went through all the training modules. There's an excellent online training course. We have the alcohol pads. All right, so that's everything in the box. And of course, like all of my stuff, I'll keep all of my boxes forever. Why? I don't know. Actually, I do know, but we won't get into that now. So, there we go. Now, got the device, the quick start guide, charging the case and the sensors. I wonder if I should read this to you. Probably wouldn't be very good YouTube content or Instagram content or TikTok content or Facebook content. Meanwhile, like and subscribe, follow me, give me a thumbs up or heart. And then recording the EMG, this is where it gets cool because I don't have my iPad set up yet, but you get these charts that show the, like I said, the neurological connection, your brain's connection to the muscle and how hard it's contracting. So that's a little quick start guide. Now let's open this thing up. You light up. Right when you open it, Mr. EMG motion mastered. So got a wonderful case here. Looks like they are all activating and powering up, ready to be connected to my iPad. Let me explain a little bit more about the Betterfly while I have Mr. EMG here. So the butterfly is a device that attaches to your elbow. So you pull it up on your arm, and on the inside is grippy material, neoprene, and on the outside is this nice hard base, which allows you to push against the cuff with more force, and it keeps the cuff from compressing on your arm. So as you see, if I load the weight up here at the top and pull down the bottom like a normal cuff would just squeeze your arm like this, just squeeze it all up. You should see my tomato video. So I added the base plate, the foundation here, of course with a logo and with plates that will be customizable for people to put brands and their names or whatever in different colors, like I have the purple one here. So what it does is, for a chest fly, for example, it allows you to attach to the cable machine at a different point. I mean, you could literally put this anywhere. If you want to do it on the forearm, you can, but I suggest putting it right above your elbow in order to eliminate all the limiting factors. What do I mean by that? So the limiting factor is the weakest link in the chain, and you're only as strong as your weakest link. So when you do a chest fly, and the reason you can only do 15 pounds per hand or 20 pounds per hand or 30 pounds per hand, you're like, oh, it's an isolation exercise. It's really not. So a chest fly is not an isolation exercise, because when you hold the weight in your hand, your wrists are a joint, your elbows are a joint, then your shoulders are a joint. So you have 3 joints technically at work in a chest fly. So you have your ability to hold the dumbbell out in space, out from your body. So you're contracting here, which is engaging all of your forearm muscles. And then you keep your arm bent to get the force. And as your arm is bent, what are you doing? You're contracting the bicep and you're bringing it across, which your chest is then moving your arm, but it's contracting here and here. So what happens is you fail, because either your grip isn't strong enough to hold as much weight as you can do, or your forearm isn't strong enough to support it, or your bicep isn't strong enough to keep the weight in motion, so you fail. You put on the butterfly and you attach to a cable machine with your elbows, and yes, you've shortened the range of motion. So for me, it's 24 inches from my hand, 12 inches from here, so it's half. It should be about half for most people. So if you half the distance from the pivot point, you can double the weight, and it takes the same amount of effort. So where I would normally do 30 pounds in my hand, I can do 60 pounds and use the same amount of torque, same amount of joint torque to move the weight at 60 pounds, 12 inches from the pivot point, as I do with 30 pounds, 24 inches from the pivot point. All you need to know, half the distance, double the weight. So if I could do the same number of reps with the butterfly as I could do with the weight in my hand, it'd be no big deal. Be like, okay, there's no point in this. You can do the same weight, same reps, same effort, same force, same work, whatever. But you can't. You can't do as many reps with the butterfly as you can with a weight in your hand. You can do more consistently. For my tests, my preliminary tests, I can do 50% more work. And I explain that this way. I measured the distance the weight traveled, and I multiplied it times the weight being lifted. So weight times distance equals work. So I took a tape measure, put it on weight stack, and I measured my range of motion with the butterfly doing a chest fly here, and then I measured it, the distance the weight moved with my hands in the position. And all my preliminary tests showed that I can do 50% more work with the butterfly doing chest flies. Then you talk about lateral raises for deltoids, talk about lat pull downs, one arm lat pull downs for your back. And then you talk about glutes, and that's the most impressive, because doing a glute extension with an ankle strap, girls putting these ankle straps and doing 30 pounds, 25 pounds, and I can do 44 pounds on a glute extension for 15 reps. And then of course you bring it up to your knee, double the weight, half the distance, 88. Did almost 30 reps, double the weight. So almost double. It was like 28. So with my glute extensions, I'm doing close to 100% more work with my glutes using this method. I could either, double the weight from 44 to 88 and do, just gobs and gobs of reps, or I can triple the weight, which is what I normally do. The max the stack will do. And it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And I'm able to actually truly isolate the muscle. So once again, if I put the weight here and load it in my elbow, I'm not using my hand, not using my forearm, I'm not using my bicep, and just move like this with the weight attached here and just contract my chest. And like I said, doing about 50% more work on my chest flies, doing about 20% more work on my deltoids. But this device, this will be what answers the question, how good is it really? And it's really good. So I'm expecting to see some great results and to see the contraction strength really increasing, because of course there's more load, but there's also an increased heart rate. The heart rate increase is about 30% across the board. So I'm burning more calories because my heart rate is more elevated because I'm moving more weight. And that's really, really great. So beta testing program is going to start soon. I've almost finalized my design, patent pending, trademark pending. There's my little trademark right there. But in the meantime, you'll see some new videos of me recording contraction strength with Mr. EMG. And I'm super excited about it.